I'm coming in. I'm coming in.
Oh my God, Katie. Release me, please.
At the beginning of the story, we meet a sweet, soft-spoken girl named Katie. She's stuck working at a coffee shop because she has no other choice, even though her real dream is to become a model. When she opens up to her friend about it, her friend suggests, "Why don't you try getting a photo shoot done?" Right then, Katie spots a modeling ad and quickly writes down the number. When she gets home, she contacts the number and sends over a few photos as her portfolio. They like her pictures and tell her, "Come to our studio tomorrow at 10 a.m. The next morning, when Katie shows up, a photo shoot is already in progress, and something about the place feels off. She meets 3 guys who work there, one named Boomer, one with curly hair, and their other brother. Katie brought a few outfits with her. Boomer says, "Pick one of these cute dresses and put it on." But when she changes, Boomer frowns and tells her, "Wear something even shorter." Katie is smart and grounded. She's not willing to compromise her morals just to become a model. Without saying anything, she quietly leaves and gives up on the whole modeling idea right then and there. The next day, while returning home from her jog, someone knocks on her door. It's the same curly-haired guy, Boomer's brother. He hands her a USB drive and says, "These are your pictures." Katie refuses. "I don't want them." He insists, "Don't worry, we deleted everything from our system so you wouldn't feel uncomfortable. This just has your photos. You can check for yourself." Katie reluctantly accepts the USB. That night, the curly-haired guy sits alone in a dark room, staring at Katie's photos he never deleted. Later, when Katie steps outside to take out the trash, he sneaks into her apartment. Katie has no idea and eventually falls asleep. In the middle of the night, she wakes up to him taking pictures of her. Horrified, she fights back and hits him in the face with a laser pointer-like device. She tries to run, screaming for help, but he covers her mouth and drags her back inside. He assaults her, beats her, kicks her, shoves a cloth into her mouth, and threatens, "Make one sound and I'll kill you." Katie's muffled cries alert a neighbor, who comes to check on her. But the curly-haired guy stabs him repeatedly in the stomach, killing him on the spot. He had just taken a life, and no one knew what he planned to do to Katie next. After a moment, reality hits him. He panics, starts crying, and calls his brothers. Both brothers rush over. They begin wiping down fingerprints, cleaning up every trace of what happened, so the murder can't be tied back to their brother. They pick up the murder weapon, remove the curly-haired brother's fingerprints, and place Katie's fingerprints on it. Then they set the knife next to the neighbor's body, making it look like Katie killed him and ran. After that, they drug Katie and drive her far away. When she wakes up, she finds Boomer mistreating her horribly. His brothers also start doing disturbing, creepy things to her. Eventually, they leave the room, but Katie is already emotionally shattered, terrified, and completely helpless. Sometime later, the 3 brothers return to give her new clothes. But this time, Katie finds a moment of courage and hits the curly-haired guy in the head. She manages to escape and screams for help. Outside, she runs into the sheriff and a detective. The detective takes her to his office, and thankfully, he seems like a good man. But then a woman walks in and says, "I'm a woman too. I've been through something similar. Let me talk to Katie. It'll help her feel safer." The detective agrees. But this woman isn't good at all. She is actually the mother of the 3 boys. Katie is unknowingly walking back into danger. The woman insists on taking Katie to her car. Katie says, "I need to go to the American Embassy." The woman smiles softly. "Don't worry." As soon as they sit inside the car, the woman makes a call. Then she gently tells Katie, "We're just going home. Once we get there, you can go to the embassy." Katie trusts her, and that becomes her biggest mistake. The woman takes Katie back to the basement, the same place where she was held before. Boomer grabs Katie again, and the woman spits on her. A little later, Boomer's father arrives and begins torturing Katie. He shocks her with electricity and abuses her without mercy. Meanwhile, Boomer's mother goes to her room, turns on music, and breaks down crying. And that's when it becomes clear. She was being forced into all of this too. She was just another victim under their control. On the other side, Katie's condition had gotten unbelievably bad. But even then, Boomer kept beating her while digging a hole in the ground. He locks Katie inside a wooden box, buries it underground, and even builds a fake grave over it. But Katie gets lucky. Inside the grave, a loose stone falls through and knocks the lid open. Katie pushes herself out and escapes. Katie realizes she's inside a sewage tunnel. She takes a deep breath, calms herself down, and gathers the courage to find a way out. When she opens a metal door, she suddenly finds herself inside a church. Inside the church, she meets a priest. Seeing her condition, he speaks softly to her. He gives her food and warm clothes. He understands that Katie won't trust anyone right now, so he avoids asking questions and simply lets her leave when she's ready. Katie steps outside, but moments later, she comes back inside. The priest gently says, "My child, should I call the police? They can help you." Katie refuses and reads a line from the Bible, one that clearly shows those men would eventually face judgment. Katie then sneaks into Boomer's house and steals some cash. The next morning, she goes to a coffee shop where the same curly-haired guy is sitting. The moment he sees Katie, he jumps up in shock and blurts out, "Katie, we killed her! How is she alive?" He chases after her. Katie slips back down into the sewage tunnels, and the curly-haired guy follows her. But this time, Katie is fully prepared. She loops a rope around his neck, strangles him until he passes out, and then tortures him, carving deep wounds into his skin with a knife, causing heavy bleeding. Meanwhile, Boomer's other brother is drinking at a bar. After a while, he starts feeling sick and rushes to the restroom. Katie follows him, locks the door, then forces his head into the toilet. The filth and suffocation overwhelm him, and he dies there. Next is Boomer's father, the one who had done the worst things to Katie. She smashes a heavy stone against his head on the street, knocking him out. Then she gives him electric shocks the same way he tortured her. She turns on a large electrical machine, puts one wire in his mouth and the other on the iron bed frame. The current is so strong that Boomer's father burns to death. After that, Katie heads to the basement because she still needs to take revenge on the lady. Katie begins singing softly. Hearing the sound, the lady comes downstairs. When she sees Katie out of the box, she angrily shoves her back inside. But Katie forces the lid open, slams it against the lady's head over and over, and injures her badly. The lady collapses, unconscious. At that moment, Boomer reaches the basement and heads toward the sewage tunnel. He finds his curly-haired brother unconscious and tied up. Right then, the detective, who has finally learned the entire truth, also arrives in the sewage tunnels to help Katie. By this time, Katie has already killed the lady's son, the curly-haired man, as a way to make the lady suffer. And now she has captured Boomer as well. She starts crushing different parts of his body with a pressing machine. But Boomer fights back until his last breath and begins choking Katie. Just then, the detective shoots Boomer in the head and kills him. He looks at Katie and says, "I'm sorry, kid. I should have helped you a long time ago." But Katie doesn't respond because she had already ended everything on her own. After this, Katie walks outside and gives a faint smile, a peaceful smile, because she had finally taken revenge on every last one of those monsters. She then goes to the American embassy and calmly tells the officials, "I have committed murders." She surrenders. She isn't afraid of being arrested or punished because deep down, she knows she did the right thing to those rapists. And that's where the movie ends.